Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to tonight's Ogdensburg City Council meeting. Will you please stand and join us as we pledge allegiance to our flag? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Would our city clerk please call the roll?
Mayor Ashley.
Present.
Councilor Davis.
Here.
Councilor Kennedy. Here. Councilor Powers.
Here.
Councilor Price.
Here.
Councilor Scamperly.
With council permission, Councilor Scamperly is still recovering, and he's doing well, and maybe please excuse him.
Yes.
Oh,
Yes.
Okay.
Councilor Stevenson.
Present.
Quorum present.
The first item we have a need for executive session to discuss proposed current or pending litigation. I would make a motion at this time that we go into executive session.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Record reflect that we are back from executive session and all council personnel are present. We do not have any presentation. Correct. Public hearing, we do have one public hearing. It's a public hearing regarding the sale of surplus property located at 833 Fort Street, tax map number 48.071-9-16, 1 to Misty Fischel. It will be bill number 97. If there's anyone in the audience that would like to come up and speak at this public hearing in reference to the sale of that surplus property, would you please come to the podium? If none, I will declare that public hearing is closed. Personal appearances. Do you have anybody who would like to speak?
No one has signed up.
Correspondence.
Did you want to ask if anyone wanted to speak under personal? Did you want to ask if anyone wanted to speak under personal appearance?
Yeah, does anybody want to speak for personal appearance? Come up, Penny.
I'm Penny Kerbean, Director of the Library, 312 Washington Street. I just wanted to let you know that we had the Grinch program Saturday, and if you can look close, you still see the green, because I can't get down my hair. And it went well. There was over 80 people there, and so we're being shown a lot of support, and I think because of all the conversations that we've been having here, it's brought a lot of people out, and I just want to say Merry Christmas and Happy New Year, and good luck to those who are going out of office.
Thank you, Penny.
Everything you've done.
Thank you.
Thank you. That'll bring the correspondence?
We have one.
Okay.
Dear Honorable Mayor Ashley and City Council members, I am grateful that Honorable Mayor Wayne Ashley and the City Council members will hear my concerns through the graciousness of the City Clerk Kathy Jott, reading into the record my opinion for the possible sale and disposition of the parcel of property at 833 Ford Street, Ogdensburg, New York. I am further grateful that the City of Ogdensburg ensures that abutting owners of property will have a voice and be able to express it when abutting parcels to someone's property will be sold, which are owned by the city. My name is Scott Stern. I am the owner of 823 Ford Street, an abutting parcel to 833 Ford Street. My property is the former location of Clarkie's Bar. I have owned the parcel for several years. The location at 833 Ford Street and the empty lot abutting my property is the only access there is to remove the roofing material that has been placed on the siding of the building at 823 Ford Street by the former owner, Ramona Breen, or some other person that installed the roofing material on the siding of my building. I own a 32-foot bucket truck that I purchased specifically in order to remove the siding on my building. It was my intention to bring my truck up there sooner, and I am intending to do so this spring and summer. I was not expecting anyone to submit an offer with regard to the 833 Ford Street location. However, being that this has come to the Honorable Mayor and City Council's attention, I hereby express my disapproval of the sale of the parcel for multiple reasons. This open parcel is the only viable access to my property's siding. Should a fence be installed on or near the boundary, It would deny me the ability to drive my truck onto the vacant land and use my 32-foot bucket truck to remove the siding and reveal the 2 windows to my building that are covered by the siding. I will not be bringing my 32-foot bucket truck until the spring or summer in order to remove the siding if granted by the City of Ogdensburg Building Department and with permission of the Honorable Mayor and City Council to allow me access to the property to park my truck upon it to do the necessary work for such removal, and allowing my contractor to replace the metal siding with matching vinyl siding. With the City of Ogdensburg in control of the property at 833 4th Street, I am hopeful that I can remove the siding and replace it with vinyl siding upon proper permit being filed by a registered contractor. The sale and disposition of the property at 833 4th Street could effectively deny my ability to renovate just this aspect of my house and future restaurant. This email is notification further to seek permission from the Honorable Mayor and City Council, the right and permission to access the empty lot in order to begin one aspect of renovation of my building, the siding itself. I am hopeful that the Honorable Mayor and City Council will grant me this permission prior to the property being sold and going to public auction. The property at 833 4th Street is not in any rush to be sold, as it is exempt by law from taxation for 3 years. Any subsequent owner would benefit from such an exemption pursuant to statute, and this sale should be tabled for the time being and not sent to the city manager to be inclusive of the public auction of city-owned property. I am interested in the parcel of property at 833 4th Street for a variety of reasons. In order to increase the seating capacity of the future restaurant, I would need additional parking. The empty lot, if approved by the City Council, to be granted additional parking and the lot properly graded, could add additional parking spaces for the seating requirements of the City of Ogdensburg zoning ordinances. I am also interested in the building location of the parcel of property at 833 4th Street for the potential of using it for restaurant-related services with approval of the City Council of the City of Ogdensburg and related departments of the city. I am hopeful that I will be able to open the restaurant and hire anywhere from 5 to 15 persons from the City of Ogdensburg in the future. The additional parking from the empty lot would allow additional seating, which would help to employ other persons from the city. I am willing to purchase the property at 833 4th Street for up to $5,000, a sum of which is greater than the current offer before the Honorable Mayor and City Council. The property has no current parking accessible by any curb cuts to it that I am aware of. There is no paved parking to the building or empty lot. I own the driveway that begins on Patterson and leads to the rear of the property I own at 823 4th Street. I can access the empty lot from my driveway, but if a fence would go up on any of the abutting boundary along the building or along the driveway that begins on Patterson Street, because of an approval of a sale over my objection at this time, it would effectively deny me access to my side of property and the removal of the siding. Being I own a 32-foot bucket truck, I intend to bring my truck to remove limbs on a tree that is juxtaposed to the driveway off of Patterson Street. The driveway that begins on Patterson leads to the rear of my building. This tree I refer to needs to be removed, and it is now effectively and technically on the city property of the empty lot of 833 4th Street. Prior to taking of the property by the city, I had contacted the former owner, Ramona Breen, and acquired permission to utilize my 32-foot bucket truck to remove various low limbs that are over my driveway. This email further seeks the permission and approval from the City Council for the right to remove the low growth limbs that are above my driveway at this time that have become interfering with my 17-foot box truck, which I use to transport my equipment to my building. Should the City of Ogdensburg decide to remove the tree in its entirety, reducing it to a stump, I hereby grant the City of Ogdensburg the right and permission to access my driveway by its Department of Public Works Department or any hired subcontractor by the City of Ogdensburg, the access through my driveway to remove said tree and all of its limbs that overhang my driveway. Should the city not be interested in removing said tree, then at a minimum by this email, I would greatly appreciate written permission and acknowledgement of the right and permission to remove the low limbs that interfere with my 17-foot box truck. I hereby express my disapproval of the sale of the property for the aforementioned reasons and pray that the Honorable Mayor and City Council will table the resolution before it and grant me time to access the property to renovate the siding of the property, which will be in the spring or summer of 2020. The City of Ogdensburg should not grant the sale of this property at this time. The city has 3 years of tax exemption for this location since 2018, and it should not go to public auction until those 3 years of exemption are completed. Thank you for your consideration, and I am again grateful that the Honorable Clerk Kathy Juck has read this into the record regarding the disposition of the sale of the property at 833 Ford Street, Ogdensburg, New York. Most sincerely, Scott Stern, owner of 823 Ford Street.
Thank you, Kathy. That would bring us to our consent agenda. And be it resolved that the claims as enumerated in general fund warrant number 21-2019 in the amount of $1,449,418.16, and library warrant number 21-2019 in the amount of $23,567.08, and capital fund warrant number 21-2019 in the amount of $208,930.96, and community development fund warrant number 21-2019 in the amount of $0, and community renewal fund number 21-2019 in the amount of $0 as audited be, and the same are hereby ordered paid. I so move.
Second.
Any discussion on the consent agenda? If not, would you call the roll, please?
Mayor Ashley?
Yes.
Counselor Davis?
Yes.
Counselor Kennedy?
Yes.
Counselor Powers?
Yes.
Counselor Price?
Yes.
Counselor Stevenson?
Yes.
Approved.
That would bring us, we do have some appointments tonight. The first one is to reappoint Michael Crow, Richard Johnson, Julie Cliff, Kathleen Wade, and Rhonda Raphael to 3-year terms on the Frederick Remington Art Museum Board of Trustees, terms to begin January the 1st, 2020, and end December 31st, 2022. I so move.
Second.
Any discussion? Call the roll, please.
Counselor Davis?
Yes.
Counselor Kennedy?
Yes.
Counselor Powers?
Yes.
Counselor Price?
Yes.
Counselor Stevenson?
Yes.
Mayor Ashley?
Yes.
Approved.
The next appointment is to appoint Barbara Downs to a 3-year term on the Frederick Remington Art Museum Board of Trustees, term to begin January the 1st, 2020, and end in December 31st, 2022. I so move.
Second.
Any discussion on the appointment of Barbara?
I just think that it's very nice to have such an extensive resume to accompany the applications, and I think she'll be a credit.
Absolutely. Let's call the roll, please.
Counselor Kennedy?
Yes.
Counselor Powers?
Yes.
Counselor Price?
Yes.
Counselor Stevenson?
Yes.
Mayor Ashley?
Yes.
Counselor Davis?
Yes.
Approved.
The next one is to reappoint Sandy Porter, Kathleen Reinbold, Benjamin Reed, Esther Ann O'Connor, and Barb Barlow to a 3-year terms on the Pride and Beautification Commission, terms to begin January the 1st, 2020, and end December 31st, 2022. I so move.
Second.
Discussion on those appointments? Let's call the roll, please.
Counselor Powers?
Yes.
Counselor Price?
Yes.
Counselor Stevenson?
Yes.
Mayor Ashley?
Yes.
Counselor Davis?
Yes.
Counselor Kennedy?
Yes.
Approved.
The next one is to appoint Mark Boyer and Michelle Megan to 5-year terms on the library board, terms to begin January 1st, 2020, and end December the 31st, 2024. I so move.
Second.
Discussion? Call the roll, please.
Counselor Price?
Yes.
Counselor Stevenson?
Yes.
Mayor Ashley?
Yes.
Counselor Davis?
Yes.
Counselor Kennedy?
Yes.
Counselor Powers?
Yes.
Approved.
And the last appointment is to reappoint Doug Loeffler to a 5-year term on the vacancy committee, term to begin January the 1st, 2020, and end December 31st, 2024. I so move.
Second.
Discussion? Call the roll, please.
Counselor Stevenson?
Yes.
Mayor Ashley?
Yes.
Counselor Davis?
Yes.
Counselor Kennedy?
Yes.
Counselor Powers?
Yes.
Counselor Price?
Yes.
Approved.
The next item for city council action is a resolution to adopt the 2020 preliminary budget. It'll be bill number 82. This was tabled at the November 5th meeting, and I would make a motion to bring it back off the table for discussion.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Would somebody like to introduce that, please?
I can.
Thank you.
A resolution to, I'm reading this one, right, the handout?
That's, you have to read.
I'm just reading the
You
actual
have to
resolution.
read the
sorry, okay.
regular one first.
Therefore be it resolved that the city of Ogdensburg adopts the 2020 preliminary budget as hereby amended, and be it further resolved that the following rates shall be in effect for 2020. One, the city real property tax rate for the 2020 shall be
$19.8598.
per thousand of assessed valuation. I so move.
Second.
Second. Now,
Make a motion to amend.
motion to amend.
And I'd like to make a motion to amend.
Second.
Second.
Okay, read this one now.
Yes.
All in favor?
All in
Yes.
favor? Aye, good. A resolution to adopt the City of Ogdensburg 2020 budget. Therefore, be it resolved that the City of Ogdensburg adopts the 2020 preliminary budget as hereby amended. Department Fire, page D10, account A 3410.140, time accruals payout. The proposed budget was 70,000. The amended budget is 40,000. The amount changed, $30,000 decrease. Non-department item H4, account A 9512.910, contribution to the public library. Proposed budget 240,000. Amended budget 265,000. Amount changed, an increase of $25,000. Page H4, account A 9512.950, contribution to the museum. Proposed budget was $64,493. The amended budget is $69,492, an increase of $5,000. And be it further resolved that the following rates shall be in effect for 2020. The city real property tax rate for 2020 shall be $19.8598 per $1,000 of assessed valuation, which is the same as the 2019 rate. I so move.
Second.
Second. Discussion on the amended budget? If none, would you call the roll, please?
Counselor Kennedy?
Yes.
Counselor Powers?
Yes.
Counselor Price?
Yes.
Counselor Stevenson?
Yes.
Mayor Ashley?
Yes.
Counselor Davis?
yes,
Approved.
The next item for city council action is a local law to allow for the changes in the Ogdensburg Municipal Code, section 177, entitled sewer rates, as dictated by the adoption of the 2020 budget. It'll be bill number 83. This was originally tabled at the November 25th meeting. I will make a motion that we bring it back off the table.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Would somebody like to introduce that, please?
I can do that,
You
Your
do it
Honor.
by summary statement. Huh?
A local law to allow the changes in the Ogdensburg Municipal Code, section 177, entitled sewer rates as dictated by the adoption of the 2020 budget. Basically, nothing's changed since the adoption, since the proposed budget that was out there. So moved.
Second.
Discussion on change? Call the roll, please.
Counselor Price?
Yes.
Counselor Stevenson?
Yes.
Mayor Ashley?
Yes.
Counselor Davis?
yes,
Counselor Kennedy?
Yes.
Counselor Powers?
Yes.
Approved.
The next item for city council action is a local law to allow for the changes in the Ogdensburg Municipal Code, section 215, section 39, 40, and 41, entitled water rates, as dictated by the adoption of the 2020 budget. It'll be bill number 84. This was tabled at the November 25th meeting, and I make a motion to bring it back off the table.
Second.
Somebody like to introduce that, please?
I can do that by summary
Jennifer, thank
statement.
you.
Vote on the table.
Vote on the table, I'm sorry.
Aye.
Aye.
Yeah.
A local law to allow the changes in the Ogdensburg Municipal Code, section 215, sections 39, 40, and 41, entitled water rates as dictated by the adoption of the 2020 budget. I so move.
Second.
Second.
Discussion on that? If none, would you call the roll, please?
Counselor Stevenson?
Yes.
Mayor Ashley?
Yes.
Counselor Davis?
yes,
Counselor Kennedy?
Yes.
Counselor Powers?
Yes.
Counselor Price?
Yes.
Approved.
The next item for city council action is a resolution to approve the sale of surplus property located at 833 Fort Street, tax map number 47.071-9-16.1 to Misty Fischel. It'll be bill number 97, and I believe I can introduce that. Resolution to approve the sale of surplus city-owned property. Whereas the city of Ogdensburg has required 833 Fort Street in accordance with property tax sale foreclosing proceedings, and whereas city staff have received the parcel and find no conflict with proposed sale, having no infrastructure or known easement or public benefit, and whereas the sale of surplus property promotes the return of surplus property to the taxable roll for the greater public benefit in keeping with comprehensive planning goals. Now therefore be resolved that the city of Ogdensburg approves the following sale of tax map number 48.071-9.1 6.1, location 833 Fort Street, restrictions, 0.09 acre lot with building, it's listed as residential business, to Misty Fischel for the price of $3,000, including estimated attorney fees and filing fees, and further be resolved that the sale of city-owned property shall be subject to review and approval by the city attorney. I so move.
Second.
Any discussion on the sale of city-owned property?
I just, looking at the business plan and the literature we were given, the graphics, I mean, when I think of what I'd like to see in downtown Ogdensburg, coming down 4th Street, this is exactly what we're looking for and moving towards being more business friendly and opening up our 4th Street Avenue into what we want our city to look like. It's exactly where we're going. And they're invested into our community as well. So I just think it's a win-win for all of us.
How long has this property been?
Oh,
Belong to
boy,
the
it's
city.
been on the list of properties for sale, I think, since longer than I've been here.
And we've had no,
And it was for sale privately before that, too.
Yeah.
right, so,
Yeah.
fine.
Well, and I also think, Your Honor, I am very sensitive to the thoughts of the neighbor next door, but this building can't wait 3 or 4 more months for someone to take action with this. We've got someone ready, willing, and able right now, and I feel we need to go forward with that.
Well, we have a definite buyer.
That's
Yes,
right.
That's
But
correct.
that being said, the letter is late coming. His actions are late coming. We have local residents who are interested in making the purchase and making a business. I think it's time to move forward.
Absolutely.
I don't believe he's correct with his tax assessment either upon the sale of the business. I
Right.
believe we can pretty much collect taxes.
Right.
Well, we don't collect the taxes,
there's
but
a
it's
dwelling,
not
but-
tax exempt. The
Right,
city
it's not
has to
tax
make the
exempt.
school district and the county
Correct.
whole.
Right. It's
So-
costing us money sitting
Yeah,
there.
it's actually costing us money.
Quicker we can get more properties on the tax roll, the quicker we can get ourselves out of this
Yeah.
hole, right?
And that's what we've been trying to do.
And we keep selling them. Any further discussion? Would you call the roll, please?
Counselor Davis?
Yes.
Counselor Kennedy?
Yes.
Counselor Powers?
Yes.
Counselor Price?
Yes.
Counselor Stevenson?
Yes.
Mayor Ashley?
Yes.
Approved.
The next item for city council action is a resolution appointing city clerk Kathy A. Jack and deputy clerk Brittany Dorte as city marriage officers. It'll be bill number 101. Somebody like to introduce that, please?
I can do that, Your Honor.
Michael, thank you.
Resolution to appoint marriage officers for the city of Ogdensburg. Whereas subsection 11C-C1, the New York State New York Domestic Relations Law permits the city council of the city of Ogdensburg to appoint one or more marriage officers who shall have the authority to solemnize marriages within the city. And whereas the city council of the city of Ogdensburg adopted a local law establishing the position of city marriage officer under AR-57 of the Ogdensburg Municipal Code. And whereas 11-C4 of the New York State Domestic Relations Law requires that the term of a marriage officer shall be determined by the governing body making the appointment but shall not exceed 4 years. And whereas Kathy A. Jock and Brittany Duarte are over the age of 18 and reside within the city of Ogdensburg, as required by subsection 11-C2 of the New York State Domestic Relations Law. Now therefore be it resolved by the City Council of the City of Ogdensburg that Kathy A. Jock and Brittany Duarte shall be appointed as marriage officers, excuse me, for the City of Ogdensburg with the duties established by AR-57 of the Municipal Code of the City of Ogdensburg and by Article 3 of the New York Domestic Relations Law, effective January 1st, 2020 through December 31st, 2023. I so move.
Second.
Any discussion? Call the roll, please.
Counselor Kennedy?
Yes.
Counselor Powers?
Yes.
Counselor Price?
Yes.
Counselor Stevenson?
Yes.
Mayor Ashley?
Yes.
Counselor Davis?
yes,
Approved.
The next item for city council action is a resolution authorizing the city manager to sign an amended legal services agreement with Andrew W. Silver, attorney at law of Silver and Collins, for various legal matters related to the Ogdensburg wastewater treatment system improvement project. It'll be bill number 102. Somebody like to introduce that,
I
please?
can do that, Your Honor.
Jennifer, you're in charge of that.
Resolution to
Get on there.
authorize the city manager to sign an amended legal services agreement between the city and Andrew W. Silver, attorney at law of Silver and Collins. Whereas in January of 2017, the city entered into an agreement with Andrew W. Silver, attorney at law of Silver and Collins, for the provision of legal services for various matters related to the wastewater treatment system improvement project, excluding bond-related or financing matters. And whereas this agreement limited the total cost to $10,000, and there is a need to amend this limit to $20,000. And whereas all funds to pay for these legal services have been and will continue to be appropriated from the wastewater treatment system improvement project funds. Now therefore be it resolved that the city manager, Sarah Purdy, is hereby authorized and directed to sign the attached amended legal services agreement. And I so move.
Discussion? If none, would you call the roll, please?
Counselor Powers?
Yes.
Counselor Price?
Yes.
Counselor Stevenson?
Yes.
Mayor Ashley?
Yes.
Counselor Davis?
yes,
Counselor Kennedy?
Yes.
Approved.
The next item for city council action is a resolution authorizing the city manager to execute a First Amendment residual management service agreement with wastewater stream incorporated, will be bill number 103. Somebody like to introduce that, please?
Resolution authorizing the city manager to execute a First Amendment to residuals management service agreement between the city and Waste Stream Incorporated. Whereas the city of Augsburg wastewater treatment plant generates approximately 800 wet tons of sludge residuals per year, and whereas Waste Stream Incorporated, doing business as Casella Waste Services, will provide a comprehensive service for the removal and proposed proper disposal of sludge residuals, and now therefore be it resolved that city manager Sarah Purdy is hereby authorized and directed to sign a 2-year First Amendment to residuals management service agreement with Waste Stream Incorporated. I so move.
Second.
Discussion on that? If none, would you call the roll?
Counselor Price?
Yes.
Counselor Stevenson?
Yes.
Mayor Ashley?
Yes.
Counselor Davis?
yes,
Counselor Kennedy?
Yes.
Counselor Powers?
Yes.
Approved.
A resolution would be the next one, calling for public hearing and public notice on a proposed ordinance to lease municipal property at 330 4th Street in the basement for the satellite office of Senator Patty Ritchie. It will be bill number 104. Would somebody like to introduce that for us, please?
I can.
Nicole, thank
Be
you.
resolved as ordinance number. They're not ordinance numbers, are yet?
104.
104.
104. Entitled, an ordinance to lease city-owned property be it hereby introduced before the city council of the city of Ogdensburg, New York, and be it further resolved that the city council shall hold a public hearing in the matter of the adoption of, am I reading the right one? Yeah. Aforesaid ordinance to be held at city council chambers in the city of Ogdensburg, New York, on the 13th day of January 2020 at 7 p.m. And be it further resolved that the city clerk give notice of such public hearing by publication in the newspaper so designated by the city council of the city of Ogdensburg for legal and public notices at at least 7 days before the hearing date of notice, setting forth the time and place and describing the proposed ordinance in summary form. I so move.
Second.
Any discussion on that? If none, would you call the roll, please?
Counselor Stevenson?
Yes.
Mayor Ashley?
Yes.
Counselor Davis?
yes,
Counselor Kennedy?
Yes.
Counselor Powers?
Yes.
Counselor Price?
Yes.
Approved.
That would bring us to old business. Does anybody have any old business they'd like to bring forth? None? Okay, we'll move on to new business. Anybody have any new business?
I have an item for new business, Your Honor.
David, thank you.
I'd like to make a motion to repeal Bill number 90, adopted on November 25th, 2019, which amended Article 5 of the city charter.
I'll second that.
On November 25th, I moved forward a resolution changing the charter. Specifically, it changed the simple majority to majority plus one, and the amendment of the article to remove the city manager and to change the duties. And after that bill took place, after we voted that local law in, listened to a lot of community members, realized that the election divided the city, and because we listened, I made that motion to change that, to repeal it. Mayor-elect Skelly had a productive meeting with the city manager, and the new council has vowed to work closely with the city manager and all the department heads. So I think we're moving in the right direction. I think we're gonna keep the things that we've put in place, and hopefully this allows the city to kind of come back together and move forward in a positive direction. So that's why I put forward the motion to repeal.
I agree with you wholeheartedly.
Yeah, you need a second?
Did you get a second?
He'd second.
I'm second,
you did.
yes, I'm
Okay.
second, I agree
Mayor
with you
second.
wholeheartedly, and I think this will give the new council an opportunity to work close with the city manager and continue on the progress that we've made in the last 4 years. And I'm gonna get into that in just a minute, but I'll second that motion, yes. Any discussion?
I also agree. I think it's a time for healing and moving forward, and I feel that we've done a lot, and I want to see progress go forward.
Well, fact of the matter was it would have required a mandatory referendum and a vote ultimately amongst the city members, and not that, I don't think that would have been an issue, but it's costly to have a special election, and I don't think, in these times, it's, something that we need to do. We've got commitment from the new incoming council that they're willing to, take a look at everything that's been done, and, we look forward to working with them.
Any further discussion? Call the roll.
Mayor Ashley,
Yes.
Counselor Davis,
Yes.
Counselor Kennedy,
Yes.
Counselor Powers,
Yep, yes.
Counselor Price,
Yes.
Counselor Stevenson,
Yes.
approved.
Okay, but anybody else have anything in the new business? If not, we'll move to item for discussion. I do have one. I'd like to thank the present council for the last 4 years of all the work that we have accomplished here. I know there's been some negativity in the community, because that negativity would come from people that were ill-informed on how much progress that we have made. You know, we've kept the tax cap for 2% for the last 3 years. This year, there's no increase in it. We've moved ahead with I don't know how many projects. We sold surplus property. We've really come a long way in the last 4 years, and I'd like to thank the council for that. More importantly, I'd like to thank our city manager for taking the initiative and direction, and our city comptroller, as well as our city planner and all the department heads who have worked marvelously in the last 4 years, and we've progressed dramatically. And I'll be glad that we'll be televising the council meetings again, because people then will be in the know, and I'd like to just thank everybody for everything that they've done in the last 4 years. And I continue to wish the new council, just keep up the good work and keep the city progressing. Thank you.
Well, Your Honor, to tag on that, I'd like to thank you for your service and your leadership. Thank you very much for everything that you've done for us.
Thank you, Jennifer.
Agree with that.
Anybody have any items for discussion?
Well, I might as well throw mine out there too, right, since we're all saying our goodbyes. I'd like to, I appreciate everything we've been able to accomplish, and certainly, you know, without Sarah and Andrea and Tim and the rest of the other department heads, we really couldn't be where we are, which is actually in a much better place than we were 4 years ago.
Absolutely.
I wish the new council well. I'd like to see things continue to go forward. You know, good luck to everyone. it was an honor to serve at the pleasure of the people of the city of Ogdensburg. I mean, it's a civic duty. I think people should take it up. It's a learning experience. It's an honor and a privilege to serve people. So I'm happy I've been able to do that for the last 4 years.
I am too.
When I ran for election 2 years ago, everyone's still stuck with me for 2 more years. But I can say I came in with an open and sincere want to do better for the city, and working with the people that sit up here has really opened my eyes to what city government entails. And until you've sat on this side of the table, I can't begin to explain what this entails. And until somebody has done it, it's very hard to sit over here, and to be a public servant and to be in the public eye is difficult. And I just commend anybody who can do this and sit up here, put themselves out there to run for an election and all that entails. And, I appreciate serving with all of you, and I've learned more than I can probably tell you in the last 2 years, and I'm going to continue for my next 2 years and maybe longer, keep putting this stuff into motion so I can continue to make the city that I live in and we all live in a better place.
I'd like to
Thank you.
add on to something. Like David started on, it's been an honor for me for the last 4 years to be part of this. I come in here, like Nicole said, wide open. I believe we've accomplished a lot over the 4 years, but I want to give a lot of credit to the city manager that we have now. Working with her for the last 4 years has done a tremendous ability to the city, and I want to go on record to say that. And working with the fellow councilmen as a team, not as individuals, has come a long way, and it has been an honor, no matter what. Thank you.
I'll close.
Okay.
Well, I have one more item, so go ahead.
We actually have another
Uh,
item as well.
Your Honor, if I may, is John Gordon here this evening?
No.
He's not here?
didn't
So
see
I
him.
just wanted to recognize John Gordon. Over the 8 years that I've been here at council, John has been at about 75% of our city council meetings. The only time he misses is if there's a ball game for OFA of some sort. So I just really appreciate having him in the audience and his questions that he asks us on the side, but it's very good to see that amount of citizen participation from John. So I'm very thankful for John's attendance.
Thank you, Jennifer.
I recall John being here from '08 to 2012.
Yeah.
Oh, yes.
If he's not,
I need to make one more special thanks here to our clerk and our deputy clerk.
Yes.
Who prepares the resolutions, the paperwork. She gives me firsthand instructions when I come in, what's going on. And they've always been cordial, they're hardworking, and they deserve a lot of credit for everything that they do. And we thank you both very much.
Thank you, it was our pleasure.
We
Anyone
do
else?
have one other item of business.
I'm
Oh,
sorry.
yeah, go ahead.
Just a
Yeah.
quick comment here, and recognizing the change in the landscape. I had the pleasure of serving from 2008 to 2012. I think of John Gordon, if he's not at a sporting event, he's shoveling a driveway or cutting a lawn somewhere. And that's one of the reasons why he can't attend. But everybody talked about participation. Nicole talked about jumping in blind to everything. I work in government. I work for the executive branch of government for the state of New York. And more importantly, more than anything, the state's looking at a $6.5 billion deficit. And with that comes hurt to your municipality. The tough decisions that have to be made on a part-time basis, coming up here and doing this work, it's in you to an extent. You see the civic organizations that are here, they volunteer their time. We kind of volunteer our time to do this as well. And at times people think it's a thankless job. I don't see it as thankless, because the more education that you can put forward and inform people with about the civic groups, a small community like Ogdensburg in the grand scheme of things of New York State, when you look at it from that perspective, it's pretty amazing what this city can get done when they come together. And that's really where it prompts me to want to serve and continue to serve the communities and the civic groups and many various organizations. And it's tough times. And there's going to be tough times ahead, without question. But together, working as a team, bipartisan politics aside, that can get done. And this council's showing it. I came in March, but, you know, I walked in, you could see the growth almost instantly. And I commend the staff, all the staff, for all the hard work that they do, from the city manager right down to the DPW workers and the police, the fire, you know, the rec department, every aspect of the city of Ogdensburg and its employees. So, and I wish my friends here all the best going forward, and you know, I'm sure to some extent they'll somewhat be involved. Many people that have come and gone out of this chamber are still involved in many facets. So that's what makes our community pretty good, pretty darn good. Thank you.
Thank you, Michael. Anybody else?
I do have to say one thing about this empty seat right here.
Yes.
My good friend, Counselor Scamperly, is doing extremely well, better than expected. It's a tribute to his exercise regimen that he's now able to climb stairs, and should be home by the weekend.
Yeah.
So, an amazing recovery.
Great news.
That's all I got.
I'm done.
We do, I hate to bring this back down to a detailed level, but we do have one other item for discussion. I put in front of you a little chart here on health insurance. And so I'm gonna ask our city controller to walk you through this. And this is an example of what you have been talking about just now. It's an example of how the hard work of all of the city staff, including all of the unions and the union presidents in the collective bargaining process, have produced some health insurance savings that are happening for 2020, but that have been accomplished through the collective bargaining process that you ratified. Tim?
Okay, well, we started out, mid-year, spring, early summer, with a health insurance committee, made up of all the unions, Sarah and I, and Andrea was on it, and our health insurance advisors, and this was kind of a precursor to the union negotiations that we had to negotiate with 5 unions. And what came out of it was 2 things mainly, is to change our plan design to a higher deductible plan and possibly offer a higher buyout. So with that combination, I put together this chart that compared our buyout numbers from year 19 to year 20. In this chart I gave you, and I broke it down by union group or the non-represented, mainly management group. So in year 2019, we had 19 people opt out of the insurance, and our opt-out amounts were either 0 for some unions or a lower amount, max of $2,000. But we did have 19 people opt out. So going into year 2020, after all 5 union negotiations, all 5 unions agreed to go to the higher deductible plan, which means the benefits are less, it's more out of pocket for the employees, which you don't really hear about in the news. You hear about people got raises, but they're also gonna have to pay more out of pocket. So that, and plus we increased the buyout, agreed in all agreements up to $4,000 per person buyout amount. So our numbers increased on the chart by overall 6 people, but in reality what happened, by each group, there's a negative number on one of the groups. Well, we actually got 8 more people to opt out, and this one particular union, 2 members got back on the plan from 19 because of a qualifying event defined by the IRS rules. They had to have insurance, so they had to take ours. So you don't really see that it actually increased 8 people, but it basically, we went from, I kind of did a rough calculation based on active members. We had 16% participate in the buyout, now we're up to 21%. So 1 out of every 5 employees is not taking our insurance, which is saving us on the very far right. $387,000 in year 2020. And I got it broken down by group. And the savings, it depends on what the copay is and what type of coverage they have. There's a family, two-person. In some cases, there could be an individual that opted out if they can get on a plan that allows like a domestic partner type situation. So, but that's a big number. It's almost $388,000 in savings, and I'm kind of optimistic because I think some plans allow you to opt in mid-year, like if you're on a school plan or something. So there may be additional during the year, and we still have time until the end of the year. You know, we tried to do an earlier enrollment just for our billing purposes. They still technically have till the end of December to notify me if they want to opt out. So if an employee is paying a 20% copay and they opt out, we don't get the 20% copay, but we're saving on 80% cost of the insurance. And that's, you know, big numbers when it adds up. You get someone on a family plan. Plus, they're not on our insurance for bills and so forth, so our claim experience is down, which should help the rates stabilize. So that was the biggest thing we had to negotiate, was getting the unions to agree to switch the plan design to, in the long term, create savings for the city. I don't know if you have any questions on that. That's my spiel on it. If there's no questions, I would like to thank all the council members for, especially the ones that are leaving us. Thank you for your time the last few years since I've been the comptroller. We have accomplished a lot of things that people don't hear about, and I appreciate your support. Thank you.
Thank you, Tim.
Thanks, Jim.
Okay. Anybody in the audience like to address council? Please come up to the podium.
Excuse me.
Cheryl?
I think we've heard that before.
I've been here a lot lately. I feel like I'm almost a member of your council. But I want to take the opportunity to say thank you. Thank you for listening. Thank you for thinking about the real importance of having a viable library in Ogdensburg. We've talked a lot about the growth and the growing of Ogdensburg. That involves the library, and you listen. So for me and for all the citizens in Ogdensburg, I am saying to each and every one of you, thank you from the bottom of my heart. Thank you. I'm so pleased.
Thank you, Cheryl.
Thank you.
We do have a need for executive session to discuss the employment history of a particular person. I would make a motion that we go into executive session.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
And since there's nothing coming out of this executive session, I would make a motion to adjourn the meeting after executive session.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay,